So, how old are you?
18.
What part of Philly are you from?
North Philly.
What are some things you like to do?
Play basketball and play basketball.
What do you value? What's important to you?
I value God and family.
What do you want to be when you grow up? Or do you have any plans for the future?
Depending on like what I want to do in the future, like I got into content creation on YouTube, and like I'm just like recently just blowing up, and just I'm trying to keep going with that. If not, just go to community college and study astronomy. For right now, I want to go to like community college outside of the state. I've been in Philly for way too long. And I don't really got like good history here, so I'm just trying to leave as soon as possible. I grew up like dead center, North Philly, like borderline Germantown and Hunting Park, so it was bad. Like when I was younger, I treated like hearing gunshots like normal, like oh there goes like another gunshot going off. And I mean the house that I grew up in, it was like barely stable. There was like holes in the wall, like roaches, all this stuff. It's like barely even like standing up. I grew up with my aunts and like all of my cousins in one single home. There would be 2 rooms and like 2 beds, but like half of us would sleep on the floor and like 2 of us would like take turns on the bed and stuff. But I would like grow up with my cousins. At times I would feel like I have a deeper connection with them, and now with my parents. I don't really connect with my parents just for the simple fact that they wasn't like verbally and physically, they weren't there when I was like growing up. And I didn't really like see my parents. My mom would work a job from 11 in the morning to 12 a.m. and I really didn't see her. My dad, he came home like at night, and I would like only see him at like dawn. Right now, my home life is like I feel like very uncomfortable mentally and like physically, because I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Like I just don't have like that support from my family, and I feel like very isolated.
Do you think other people your age or your age range have a similar home life?
All my friends, like nine times out of 10, either don't have a father figure, they don't have a mother figure, they have probably like an abusive family members, something. And I'm pretty sure like the city of Philly is just like the most dangerous city I think currently right now, and it's just sad to think that like other people don't even like care, and like some people they pray like, oh, hopefully my son doesn't die. And it's sad how close this school is to like violence that happens all the time. Like there's always like shootings down like Hunting Park, it's like a few blocks away from here. There was gun violence, and like people on the news just treat it as like it's a normal thing. Like it's like hard because I lost 2 of my friends, and I lost a lot of family members.
How does that make you feel, and how do you cope with that?
Like people like advise me to like, oh, speak out, speak with people, but I feel like no one like would understand like what I'm trying to say, and like I just try to cope with it by just keeping myself busy. I feel like when I'm not busy, like when I have like nothing to do, I just like get in that state of mind where I start thinking about it, and I start getting like really deep down, and then depression start kicking in, anxiety, all this other stuff.
How do you think other people cope with that?
I know some people they cope it the same way that I do. I know some people cope with it like by ignoring it. I know some people try to cope with like give revenge, and then they feel like just vengeful for like that person. For example, if someone like shoots your close friend or your family member, some people have like they feel like they have the duty to go kill that person or like try to like hurt them in some way.
Why are people getting shot so much here in Philly?
I feel like it's like just the easy access to guns. You can find anyone like, hey, like you know anybody that sells like weapons or like drugs, and they'll probably probably like 7 times out of 10, like they'll probably know someone that will sell like things to them, and that's probably how it gets distributed so fast. And like people join gangs at an early age. People that have been doing it for a while, they know that younger kids, they're easily like fooled, and they're easily tricked into like doing other stuff. And that's how like just like teens, minorities, they all get into that stuff, and they're easily like tricked into doing all that stuff. I feel like men always have to like prove a point. Like they have to prove a point to like not just themselves, but like everyone else. They want to show it like, oh, like this person did this to me, I gotta show them who's like bigger, and like I gotta show them like who's the man. It's like sometimes always about like someone could have suffered a loss, and that could have like hurt them deeply, and they just don't want to talk about it, so they like take it out in anger on anyone that like just like makes them uncomfortable, or like just slightly just makes them like angered. There's like so many factors, and like there's gonna be a point where the person can't take it anymore, and then they're just gonna like not out the anger, but they probably like don't know like a reasonable way to like just lay out the anger in like a safe way. I think that like they're scared like for like their emotions to be shown. Like young men, like teens, like they lose hope. They lose hope in like a better future. They think that like and they have a choice like, oh, sell this, oh, like you got to get a gun, you got to protect yourself, you got to shoot people, you got to go with this certain group to stay alive.
Do you ever fear that you will be next?
All the time. But I always think about like, oh, like what happened to him, the same situation could happen to me. So I'm like always like alert, I guess, and I'm always like aware of my surroundings, and that's just like the way it is for like people that are like living in like poverty and like North Philly. They're always like alert, because that's the way that they grew up. Like they just always on alert for stuff that are going on around them.
What needs to happen for this gun violence in the city to die down?
They could legalize marijuana so they don't have to be on the streets and like conflict and all that stuff. They could legalize it and they could just make shops and stuff, and like that would like be another cause. Like you wouldn't have like just people fighting over like blocks and all this stuff. But yeah, like we should like definitely tell people like other like ways, other reasonable ways for people to like express themselves. And I feel like they should like just work on like self-control and like discipline and like just ways to like handle themselves.